Like, I want to show you this, right? Like, bit of this whole thing, and as I said before, all these complexes and things like that. I mean, we don't need all of them. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, they're nice and all that, but we don't need all of them, and we don't need all of them in every country that they exist in all across the world. And we don't need all the luxury apartments in London and shit like that when people are homeless. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there is nothing to stop, like, empty bits of wasteland like this, and I just use this because I'm here now. We could be talking about, you know, derelict council blocks in London or Newcastle or Manchester or anything. Yeah, there's loads of empty buildings, and when there's empty buildings in the world, nobody should be without a home, right? It's like, it's logic, you know, it stands to reason. And you know, when there's like water under the earth, nobody should not be able to access that, you know, and that should be the priority, to make sure that people can access that. You know, when there's green fields, there shouldn't be people that can't get a bit of fruit, you know. There shouldn't be people that can't grow a bit of rice, and we should be educating people to do these things instead of educating them to accumulate more material possessions, you know, which is where the poison of the media comes in. But again, it's fun, and I'm not going to begrudge anyone. If you want to play your PlayStation, fucking, you know, take selfies on your iPhone, he says, holding the selfie stick. Do it, man, do it, you know, and maybe we can have a monetary system for that. And actually, that's probably a better idea. You know, I'm talking about perfect scenario when we don't have any cause for money in the world, which is a reality. It's a fucking clear reality, which people just need to like, that's right, actually. People need to just realise that, 'cause it's so simple. Well, look at this. Little VW Beetle over there with an I love my Beatles sticker. It's quite cool, isn't it? Flowers on it. That's a nice house. These are probably quite affluent people, actually, locals. I'm sure they're well, they're probably villas, actually, holiday villas or something. Or they're people that have been around for many years and done well out of the trade here, and good luck to them. You know, good luck to anyone who's done well for themselves in business. You know, I ain't criticising anyone. I'm criticising the system, and I am criticising some people. Is the people that are trying so desperately to hang on to that system, and you know, are creating acts of terrorism and murder, basically, and trying to fit people like me into some kind of frame so that I can't be trusted. Like, you know, you're going to find out more about this shit that I talk about. I just don't feel that I have to explain it until somebody confronts me, to be honest, right? And nobody has got the bollocks to confront me, right? I mean, the way I see it, the people, dickheads, what are doing what they're doing at the moment, which I know is a bit vague, but it's all I'm prepared to say at this juncture. Dickheads like that, their opinion ain't worth shit, so I don't give a fuck, right? And I hope some of you watch this. And like, you know, if you want to say something, come and fucking say it to me. Say it to my face, please, please, please. Somebody come and say something to my face. Nobody's ever said anything to my face, you know. And I hold my hands up to being, you know, a bit of a cunt in some ways and having done some fucked up things. I've said it many times, man. Just come and say something. And you know, if you won't say it to my face, then it ain't worth saying, I think. And I don't think it is worth saying, really. You can judge me or whatever, but anyway, we're going by the by, because most people watching this, which is going to be about 20 people now. I'm getting about 20 hits on average on my last few videos. Well, the hits that you can see on YouTube, which is a big point, actually. There's more people watching than believe that, alright? Whatever you think about me, I know. Anyway, fuck, I've lost the point. What was I talking about? Weren't talking about that. Fuck. Anyway, look, I'm going to show you in this shopping mall. I'm not sure. No social commentary really going on here. It's just something interesting. This would be a really old mall, right? This would have been like made in the 70s or something like that. Actually, saying that, it looks quite new, doesn't it? But it's not been completed yet. I don't know. Pointless comment, because I don't know. But it's just interesting that, you know, in like where I come from, places like this, they got everything, haven't they? Every shop is full and every shop's fully stocked and all that. And actually what you're going to see in a country like this, and there's a lot of countries like this, you got your couple of fortunate people that have been able to stock their shop out, but for the most part it's like a ghost town. It's a ghost mall. You know, this is a good example. Look, it shows the cultural boundaries are not as great as we sometimes think. This kind of hairdressing salon could come, you know, straight out of any British high street, couldn't it? They got the same pictures and everything. But yeah, most of it, there's fuck all here, right? And this is, you'll find this sort of thing in a lot of countries, you know. Oh, it's in progress. It's been in progress for 15 years probably. But you know, this was an attempt to enter our world, basically, to enter the Western world of capitalism. Because all the people that come here and spend money is, you know, people living in developed nations with the money to do it, basically. I mean, again, maybe I'm talking shit. Locals obviously do come here as well. Like, we got a nice little vegetable shop, the vegetable stall around the corner. That's probably frequented by locals, I guess. But yeah, probably a lot of locals around this area are probably wealthy because they've been involved in the tourist trade for many years. Anyway, I've really gone off the boil now. It's getting a bit shit, this video, isn't it? I started off quite hot. Let's get on to the main point, right? I went to the Sinai Desert and I climbed Mount Sinai. How cool is that? It was a bit of an anticlimax, to be fair. Now, it meant a lot to me. I was really looking forward to doing it, and I really had high expectations out of it as well, because you know, when I talk about God and things like that, and you'll have to watch my other videos if you haven't to understand how I'm defining God, because I've got a very special definition of God, and I think that if this definition could be brought to a wider spectrum, well, a lot of people know it, you know, a lot of people already would agree with me, but more people need to think the way that I think, in my opinion. That's what I think. And if they did, we would probably have a better world. So yeah, so when I talk about things like this, and when I, like, you know, allude to having some kind of deep spiritual connection with the world, it is not for no reason. It's not something that I'm just making up. It's something that actually stems from experiences that I've had, and the two main experiences that I had were in scenic spots in New Zealand, places where you know, you're not within the realm of you know, the matrix, basically, the matrix of modern society that has been created around us. Places in the middle of nowhere, you know, places on the coastline and on the mountain. I had a fantastic experience once climbing a mountain, and if I could put it in language that most of you will understand, it felt to me as though I experienced the touch of God. That happened to me, and it was a very real and tangible experience that brought tears to my eyes, and it was just incredible. And that is a big reason why I speak with kind of confidence about some strange things, because I know that there's more to life. And again, you're just going to have to go back and watch my videos, because I ain't got time right now to explain what I mean by God. But it ain't a man, you know, it ain't a man in the sky. Anyway, and it could be in some ways construed as a figment of my imagination, but when you realise that everything around us is the culmination of figments of the imagination of everyone and everything in the world, then my beliefs become less strange. And yeah, this is something important. So anyway, I climbed a mountain in New Zealand once. I felt the touch of God, to cut a long story short, and I wanted to do it again. And of course, Mount Sinai, yeah, Moses Mountain, this is the mountain, according to legend, this is the mountain where the prophet Moses received the 10 Commandments from God. That's a hotel. Oh no, it's an aqua park. It's probably quite fun in there. Looks authentic, doesn't it? From Egyptian architecture. Yeah, this was. So I hope you can hear me, because it's getting a bit noisy now on the roads. So I was up Moses Mountain the other day, as you do. I was, you know, walking around the spots where Moses received the 10 Commandments, which was nice. It was something quite interesting to do. It was an all-night climb, because of course you can't climb a mountain in the sunshine in this country, although people do probably. Bedouin monks and that, or not monks, I don't know, Bedouin people. Moses himself maybe even did it in the daylight, I don't know. People have been doing religious pilgrimages up that mountain for years. Now full of fucking tourists, including me, obviously. Yeah, and it was too many people on the mountain, and there was no. I've done shit like this before alone, and really had time to think to myself and opened myself up to like feel the touch of the universe. It's a better word than God. The universe. It's a much better word than God. Although, you know, the experiences I've had, it does make me wonder if there's a God in the traditional definition, but I doubt it, you know, I doubt it. But anyway, something is happening, and that thing is greater than you and me and all of us, and we would do well to acknowledge that. And if we could, you know, as the Muslim folk do, then we probably would make the world a much, much better place, to be honest, you know, and that would be like really great for everyone. And again, everything's converging now. That's why there's such an anti-Islam agenda in the media, because they don't want the world turning Muslim, because then capitalism is fucked, you know. Anyway, another story. You've heard it all before. So I was up Moses Mountain, Mount Sinai, and it made me think this interesting thing, actually, and this is why I'm making this video. What we got? 29 minutes. This is like part 3 already, and I'm just getting to the point. Classic Mike Hunt. Yeah, it made me think this 10